you know, study and know what you're doing. And that's the most important thing is, you know, just be, you know, be in your truth. Everybody should be in their truth in this room.
Yes.
As an agent, can you guys hear me okay? Okay, so when I sit with clients, we strategize, I ask, what is your brand? If you don't know anything about you, then how do you know what it is that you want to do? You may have a great gift, we'll say that, now you know that. But what about you and your brand is going to make Leah, Sean, or Peter hire you? Because they're buying your brand. And if you don't know you, as they're saying, then those are some of the things that we get to talk about.
And I would just add that, you know, essentially it's an elevator pitch, right? You're not gonna get a lot of time to go into a long story about your life. And when they're asking that question in the room, it's usually just to kind of get an idea of your personality, because they've been seeing you as this character, as this actor. They want to get a little bit of understanding of how you're going to be to work with. You know what I mean? So, you know, you want to talk about your work ethic. You know what I mean? You want to tell us a little bit about, you know, maybe why, you know, and how you know, you work well with others. You know what I mean? Maybe a short little anecdote of, you know, the things you bring to the table when you come to set and how prepared you are. You know, these are the things that someone would want to hear when they're anticipating hiring you and spending the money to shoot you for days on end, and making sure that you're going to be someone that is not going to waste their money or time.
There it is. Guerrilla filmmaking.
Yeah, and even to piggyback on the elevator pitch thing, it is important to know exactly what your brand is. And not even just knowing what your brand is, but just knowing how to speak about what it is that you want out of your career. What platform you see yourself on. Do you see yourself in films? Do you see yourself in television? Do you see yourself on like, there's so many different, I guess, content platforms now. You have Netflix and Hulu and all those things, and then you have these cable networks with FX, OWN, TV One, Bound. Like, there's so many different platforms, and then you have the higher cable networks like HBO, Showtime, all those things. Where do you see yourself? What channel do you see yourself on? Do you see yourself on Lifetime? Do you see yourself on Comedy Central? Do you know what I mean? It's important for you to know those things, I think, as an actor. Maybe you see yourself on all of it, but you know, you can't be a jack of all trades and a master of nothing. So try to pinpoint exactly what that is for you.
So they really have to have a vision for themselves.
Yeah, absolutely.
And a plan. I always ask like a top 5.
What is a brand? What do you mean when you say a brand?
What's a brand? Well,
But you got to clarify that question.
Yeah.
I have to what?
You got to clarify that question.
Everyone's talking about a brand, so does everybody know what a brand is? Or know what their brand is?
Well, what's your lane?
Yeah.
What is your specialty? Martial arts, comedian, you know?
What are you known for? What
right.
do you want?
What makes you special?
Yeah, what
makes you?
Right.
Because everybody has a lane, so to speak. You know, the hot, sexy girl, the good-looking, muscular guy, the heartthrob, the more emotional, sensitive actor that we know we can get that out of, that people gravitate to. So for me, that's the different kind of brands that people, or categories that people and actors fit in. Shakespearean actors, singing actors, musical actors. So where do you go? Do you go to Broadway, or do you go to film and television? It's very interesting, Nika Nani Rose, who is a Broadway baby, who has transitioned over to television. And she was film, but she came from that element. So you have to find out what is your expertise and your gift and expand and utilize that.
Great. What are some of the biggest mistakes you guys have seen actors make in an audition that people should really steer clear of?
Lying on your resume.
Oh, yes.
Lying on your resume.
So what does an actor do that doesn't have many credits then? I mean, I think that might be one of the reasons they're doing that.
I can tell you, Well, see, no, there's never a reason to lie on your resume.
No, I get that, right?
But what the thing is that I think what happens is, you know, you do as, and sometimes it's not even a lie. Sometimes it's more just like, oh, I was, that you may have been background, and you say you were
Teacher.
co-star, right?
Supporting.
You know what I mean? And I've seen it, and I've called it on so many people that, you know, movies or films or television that I've cast, you have an actor that's come in and I see my credit and I'm like, oh, I don't remember seeing you. You know what I mean?
They didn't do their homework.
Right,
Knowledge.
exactly, right. So I
Knowledgeable.
think that's definitely one of the biggest things. I think, wait, what you said, the biggest mistakes.
Biggest mistake actors make in the audition process.
Overperforming,
Yeah, that's a good one
not
too.
getting their beats.
Yeah, oh wait.
Okay.
I'm
Thank
sorry.
you, Brookshire.
Talk about it.
I think, well, that one thing, and then also, because, okay, so here's the thing, and I don't wanna take up too much time, because I know we gotta get on with the program, but I think I've seen actors, if you're training, because if you were, like, say for instance, you go to one of the more prestigious, acting schools, like Tisch or NYU or whatever you go to, you're not allowed to perform. You're not allowed to go out and audition. You have to wait until you're showcased in order for us to see who you are. And so you have agents that go to those showcases and they sign you straight from those showcases. They don't have credits. What they're doing is they're believing in you. They're going to develop you as an artist. They're going to try to get you out there. And most times, if you have just that bit of education, that will get you in the room. So you don't necessarily have to, you know, just embellish what you've done. And being late, that's one other big thing that I have a problem with.
Yeah, being late. That's my big issue too. But the main thing is knowing when you come in the room, you have 2 minutes to impress us. Well, actually them. But as a producer, you know, the casting director is going to say to me, oh, this person, this. But if I'm turned off, then it's not going to happen. So I want you to be there to do the work and to actually impress me to hire you.
I think ultimately we want them to win.
Well, we do want
all
them to
actors
win.
We want you guys to be the best at what you do. So when the criticism comes,
It's coming from a place of love. I know for me it is. It's always coming from a place to try and help you grow as a performer.
Reach your fullest potential.
yeah.
You know, and, oh, go ahead. Again, and what we started with when Rasan said it's about being knowledgeable. You should know who you're coming to see, what Leah said, and the material is very important. And make sure you have your script down. You know, don't stop, and oh, I'm sorry, and don't say sorry. Don't say sorry, that's the worst. You know, we don't want to hear that. You know,
Sorry, don't pay the bills.
no, because it's our job to find the right person. So we depend on you to be prepared, and we're rooting for you. We're all on the same team. Casting directors and producers, we're all on the same team with the actors. We want you to win.
And I was just gonna say something simple, just read all the scene direction, because sometimes, you know, folks go read that straight down the page and play the scene all wrong, and they might be great, but they just didn't understand the scene. And if you don't understand the scene, ask questions. Because you come in there and
Ask
play the
questions.
character all wrong, you know, it's supposed to be a comedy, and
And read the whole thing and not just your part.
no, I
If you
swear,
get
you
the
know,
signs.
people come in, you know, playing it like it's a melodrama, and yo, this is supposed to be funny, what? All the time.
Yeah, we don't give it to you. We don't got time to work.
Let me just get the temperature of the room. How many in the room are actors?
Over.
How many are filmmakers? How many are multi-hyphenates? You know what a multi-hyphenate is? Actor, writer, producer, or actor. Yeah, that's more than one thing. Okay, so let me ask a question from you guys for the filmmakers in the house. Because one of the things I always tell them is, if you're looking to cast and you can't get the talent you want, you may want to hire a casting director, right? So this really goes to Leah and to Peter. What is it in the project that makes you want to basically put your reputation on the line and go out there and get really great talent for an indie filmmaker? Because there's lots of filmmakers here and they want to cast some names and they know that you've worked with those names. And so they come after you. So what is it that they need to do to ensure you that this is it money? Does it need to be a put project where they've already got the financing, or can they come to you even if they don't have the financing?
Thanks, Marcia. You're doing such an excellent job. Give me a round of applause.
Well, for me, obviously I have to like the script. I have to gravitate towards the material. It has to be, I want to work on projects that challenge me as a casting director. So I definitely have to connect to the material in some way. But as we were talking about earlier, I have a budget, a rolling quote, if you will. I have worked on no budgets, I have worked on low budgets, and I have worked on very high budgets. So it just really depends on the budget of the project, what my quote is in terms of money, because it's not always driven. You know, I've cast shorts, I've cast things for free, so it's really just, don't come up to me though and tell me you got a project that you want me to cast.
Well, I'm just getting ready to come up to you for a project.
Let me just tell you right now. But
well, I got a project for you.
But I will say that it definitely has to be content driven for me.
Yes, I agree with Leah. It's about content. And then also, I look to see who their wish list is, and if that's a project suitable for that person that they're asking for, because some people need to get out of that type of film. They're stuck in a martial arts film and they haven't done dramatic, or they have done comedy and haven't done thrillers, suspense. So actors need to also elevate their career and the type of work, the body of work that they have, so they can make themselves marketable, more versatile in the marketplace.
Okay, for the filmmakers in the house, independent, I'm gonna tell you something. Closed mouth don't get fed. My first film, Dirty Laundry, I met Rockman Dunbar in the hallway and I gave him a script. I gave Loretta Devine the script and she did my film and both of them. So I'm gonna say this, we didn't have no casting director, we didn't have no money. And how we attached them, I mean, real talk, we attached them and that's how we got our money. That's as an independent film producer. Closed mouth don't get fed. So if you see somebody, you want them in the field, walk up to them.
I love that answer. That was real. I want to take a few questions from the audience. Any questions out there in the audience? This right here. Want to stand up?
You in the mic? Hi, I'm Jojo Elias. My question is back to the range thing and the tones of different shows. Like I'm an actor and I've been trained coming from New York where it's more so theater. And I've gone in auditions and it's like I've been told, okay, you're doing too much, or I'm like my range is so big, you know, because I go and I bring the emotion, or I really commit to the character and I play full out. Like I go there. So it's like, how do I find, when you say tone, like you have shows for NBC and ABC, they're more so, like, I don't know, like it's like you're telling the story. Then you have shows for like HBO and then stars that are more like in depth. So it's like, how do you, because you watch the show, you understand the tone, but it's like, what do you do? What's something concrete that I can do to prepare myself for where I'm not bringing so much emotion, or where I'm not bringing so, you know.
I think I know what you're saying. When you come into the room, sometimes you're just a little big. And-
Yeah, it's deep.
It's
where
very,
like
yeah.
so
Well, I think
powerful.
it's because, like you said, you're coming from a theater background. But what you have to understand is when that translates to television, everything you do is magnified. So you just have to scale it back. And maybe you need to take a class in